So there's a lot that has happened since the last time I spoke with you guys, and I wish I could say it was all good. Since the last time we spoke, it wasn't looking good for my dad, and they were looking to throw the book at him. Since then, I moved back home, not knowing if I was going back to Iowa or if I was going back to play football. I was in a depressive state for sure, but I know my pops wouldn't want me sitting around doing nothing. The transfer portal was opening at the same time as my dad's first hearing, and I needed to make a decision on what I was going to do.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise. I hope you scheduling this meeting means what I think it means.
I'm not going to beat around the bush, Coach. I got a lot going on here at home, and I think it's best for me to transfer closer to my mom.
I've heard the unfortunate news, and I won't beat around the bush either. While we would love to have you here, because we know you can turn this program around, I can't promise you much, Bernard.
I'm not looking for any handouts. I know I have to earn my place.
While I admire your willingness to work hard, I need to explain better what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
You're super strong, not the fastest, but defenses can't take you down. Again, while we would love to have you, there are some things you're going to have to accept while you're here. There's a really high chance you won't win the Heisman here. The offensive coordinator has built this offense around the passing game, and it's been working for us. I don't want you to think just because you transfer here, all of that is going to change right away. But I will say this, if you do transfer here, we are willing to make the necessary changes to make sure you get your touches and win games.
That's all I could ask for, Coach.
If you're okay with that, we will get the documents ready for you. Welcome to UCLA, Bernard.
Thank you, Coach. I'm happy to be here. And that was a lot. I wasn't happy here and I wasn't going to have a chance at Heisman because I know what I can do on the field, but this wasn't about me. I needed to be close to my mom and my pops, and that's the sacrifice I'm willing to make. But enough of this. I'm running late for my dad's character witness hearing, and he needs all the words he can get today.
Today was very insightful. It was a pleasure hearing from everyone, the NBA players, the NFL players, governors and mayors from Utah, the James family, and most of all, from Bernard James. While the court was pleased to hear from all of the upstanding individuals, it is still my recommendation that LeBrick James undergo the death penalty. Court is adjourned.
My heart is broken. I don't know what else to say. From that point on, I didn't know what else to do, but my pops had his head up. He requested that my mom and I visit as frequently as possible. I'm glad I made the decision to stay close to home because every chance I had, I was talking to my pops because I know we both needed it. He was giving me a lot of game during this time that we had because we didn't know when his time was coming. We just knew it was going to happen. He was telling me how happy he was that I was successful wearing his number, and he kept apologizing to me that he was in the position that he was in. He told me to keep my head up and make sure I make the most of this season and that I couldn't worry about the things I couldn't control. But enough of this, because I'm getting emotional. Debut season at UCLA, and man, walking out of that tunnel gave me chills. Hometown kid is back, playing for my cousin's alma mater, and they were expecting big things from me, especially considering I just won the Heisman last season. Jumping into the second quarter and we're down 14 already, and you can see why. This San Diego State team was really prepared for me, and the O-line here was not as good as my Iowa guys were. 3rd and 5, I'm being put into the position of a passer, and instead of the defense coming to tackle me, they back off and I throw up a prayer. Luckily, the receiver comes back for the ball and we pick up some major yards in the air. Yeah, I'm not liking this offensive scheme already, bruh. But we're down at the 12-yard line. I'm motioning around the QB for a quick dump down, only gaining a few yards on the play. Play after that, coach calls the screen play 7 yards out. Line gets their blocks, and I'm into the end zone for my first score as a Bruin and our first points on the scoreboard. Back out on the field, defense holds us down. I'm starting the drive with a tough 6-yard gain. Getting the ball again on first down, break a tackle at the line, make a few guys miss before I'm taken down for the first. 3rd and 13, I sneak out of the backfield, picking up big yards to keep the drive going, trying to tie this game up. From the 28-yard line, I'm out of the backfield, putting my agility to use, then running through the next guy, barely moving the chains. The passing game gets us down to the 1-yard line, where I fight my way forward to tie this game up, and San Diego is looking a little shaky. Speaking of looking a little shaky, neither offenses could score, and the game is still tied. 3rd and 11 from the 3-yard line, I know it's time for me to take over this game. After picking up that first down, I'm locked in. Coach giving me the ball. I'm breaking to the outside, down the sideline before I get caught by 3 players. I got the crowd rocking after that one. It's 3rd and 10. We need to get past midfield at the least to try for a field goal. But again, I'm creeping out of the backfield wide open and I just fall on the ball. I'm not trying to get blindsided. But on 2nd down, I run the same route and this time I get smacked for not falling on the ball and I'm hurting. Coach gives me a down off, but I'm back running the ball to the left outside and again I get smacked by like 2 players. It's starting to piss me off. I get the ball again, running to the same side. This time I hit them with a crazy spin, get it upfield. I get ran over again. From the 8-yard line, I'm running to the left yet again. This time I avoid the tackle and spin my way into the end zone, leaving only 54 seconds on the clock. But defense was not locked in and we go to overtime. Luckily, the guys on offense wanted it just as bad as me and I marched in from the 3-yard line, putting us up. And shout out to the defense, shutting down State when they tried to go for 2 and we barely win this season opener by 1 point. 170 rushing yards, 88 yards in the air with 4 total touchdowns is how I end this one. And the NIL deals were still coming in. I guess they follow me back home. Sporting Goods store wants me to be an ambassador for their fitness bikes. I needed the bread, so why not? Moving ahead in the season, we're ranked 16th in the country, and we got number 5 Michigan at Michigan, which makes this game even harder than it needs to be, but we know what we're walking into, and we're prepared. Michigan put up 3, and it's our turn. Coach is letting me start the drive with a draw, and Michigan is all over it, only picking up 1 yard. Play action designed for me to keep the ball. I'm finding some space in the defense before I'm quickly tackled, picking up 7. We need to keep this drive going, and Coach is trusting me to do it, making one guy miss who thought he was going to stop me in the backfield, and I turned this run from a loss into a 13-yard gain. From the 14, Coach is starting to lean on me again, and I'm making sure he can keep his trust in me as I bounce to the outside, stop just short of the first down marker. Then on 2nd and goal, I sneak out of the backfield again. Linebackers paying me no mind as I fall down with the ball in the end zone, putting up the first touchdown of the game for both sides. Trying our best to shut this crowd up early. Coming back late in the first half from the 20-yard line, QB finds a quick dump down for 3 yards. We're going back in the air on 2nd down, and somehow the QB connects with a wide out on the left side of the field, and he makes a great sideline catch at the 3. And you know I step right in for the handoff, carrying one guy with me all the way to the end zone, putting us up by 10, hopefully by 11 with the extra point. And this game was actually a lot closer than it probably should have been for Michigan, but we somehow come up with the win at Michigan. And I think this game was the push Coach needed to finally work me into the game plan. More on the ground, finishing with 96 yards rushing, 116 in the air, and 2 total touchdowns. But unfortunately, we get deeper into the season and I'm getting more touches, but the scheme hasn't completely been worked out and the team hasn't bought into it. Rivalry game against USC, we're the number 1 team in the country and I'm scrambling for yards due to broken blocks from the line. But when the QB needs protection, the O-line knows exactly what to do and they're holding him down. I'm starting to feel some type of way. I can't hold you. Because how is it that y'all can hold the line for the QB to make a pass, but you can't hold the blocks for longer than 2 seconds for me to get downfield? It is what it is though. I got to remember why I'm here and get over myself. This was a sad-ass performance for both teams. As we barely walk out of here with a win, I rushed for only 84 yards and 70 in the air. And Coach would go on to make the changes for the remainder of the season, and we finally worked out all the kinks in the run game. And we really got the O-line bought into the idea of the success we could have if they really sold out. I was definitely frustrated at first, but talking to my dad helped out a lot, and he gave me some really good advice when he told me that instead of trying to run around these players, I need to run through them. I got all this strength and I'm barely using it on the field. That stuck with me, and that advice was clutch, especially going into bowl season. We got the Big Ten championship up first against number 3 Washington, and we're still number 1. And this arena was sold out and loud as hell. First play of the game, and it's looking like the O-line isn't as confident as they were towards the end of the season. And I go down after only gaining 1 yard. But I'm in the huddle letting them know now is not the time to regress. And we come back out on the ground, inches short of the first. Coach is letting me get this first, and I know if we get it, it will be a big boost to my O-line's confidence. And I get it and a little more. And that was perfect because now we run the RPO, which has the defense lost, and we get the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line. And the team is looking good. Keeping the pass game going, I found my way to the 3rd level where I catch the ball and I'm immediately taken down at the 4, and the threat to score has heightened. And you know I'm good for 4 yards as the guys up front make a way for me to fight my way in. And this is what we needed. Get on the boards first and let the rest of the game play out. Defense is locked in and we get the ball back at the 7-yard line. Relying on the pass game, I run an angle route, outrunning my defender, getting upfield, putting my head down like my pop said for a 23-yard gain. Keeping the air raid going from the 32, play action to the pass that should have been picked off. I'm finally taken down close to midfield and I'm teed up because we're feeling unstoppable. Defense is looking for the pass, but coach is going to run. We got them guessing as the left side of the field is completely empty. I make one guy miss, getting us into the red zone. When I tell y'all I love the way the coaching staff has finally built this offense around me, you can see why. Nice 10-yard gain on that play. Now it's back to the ground, moving to the right side of the field. They try to take me down, but I'm too strong, fighting my way to the 2-yard line where I get the ball again on 2nd down and barely get into the end zone. And I could tell Washington is not happy. Coming back from halftime, Washington has put up some points, making this a game. We need some separation. Defense gets the ball on the 23-yard line, and it's one play through the air, carrying 2 defenders with me into the end zone. Another touchdown for your boy. And you know what? Go ahead and crown me, my guy. Washington won't go away, and late in the 4th, we need another touchdown to solidify this win. 2nd and 6 from midfield, the perfect play is called. The wideouts are holding their blocks, and I'm off to the races, finally being taken down at the 1-yard line. Coach takes me out of the game. 2nd string running back scores it, and we're Big Ten champions. I rushed for 165 yards, 66 through the air with 4 total tutties. Now the real challenge begins. First round of the playoffs against NC State, and we're down 3 at midfield. The run game has been slow to get going, but coach still believes, which makes the passing game all the more easier as I come up with a big game to get us going. Coach's belief in the run game is what gets us opportunities like this. Getting to the right side edge, rolling through one guy, then another, finally falling down at the 2-yard line where you know I'm punching it in, and I know my pops is watching me, and I'm going crazy in that end zone. 3rd quarter, and the game is all tied up. Coach has been yelling at the defense all game, and we need to give them a break as I abandon my route, making sure the QB has someone to throw it to, getting us past midfield, and things are looking in our favor. Getting back to that run game, though, from the 18-yard line, the O-line makes a big way for me, and I turn on the Jets, getting up the field for a big touchdown that might have NC State rethinking this game plan. But I wasn't done because the defense was holding us down. 4th quarter, 2.5 minutes left in the game. I'm taking my time, letting my blocks get set up, finding that edge, turning on the boosters, and it's another tutty for the day. And no, I still wasn't done. Ball past midfield, the blocks are looking too good to pass up. I'm getting all the way down to the 21-yard line, and I jump right back up, flexing, letting the rest of the teams know I'm really back. Coach said run the clock out, but at the last second, QB gives me the ball. I run dude over at the 5-yard line, and the rest is history. I know we shouldn't have scored on that last drive, but look, the team wanted it, and so did I going into the next round of the playoffs. Big 204 rushing yards, even crazier, 111 in the air for 4 total touchdowns, and the Orange Bowl was ours. Now we got the Rose Bowl game against number 3 Georgia, and I knew we were in for a tough game, and unlike some of my teammates, I've been here before. And I knew what it was going to take to get a win tonight. And I was well prepared for the task at hand. Opening drive goes to us, and I'm trying to let Georgia know off rip what it is. Getting off the right edge, finally being brought down past midfield. 3rd and 18, time to put the ball in the air. I do what I need to do to get open, and the QB dots me as I get the first and not much more after that. From the 12, the right side of the field is looking too empty, and the guys find their blocks, and I'm taking off right for the end zone. And we score. Getting that first score out of the way quick. Defense holds Georgia to 3, and the passing game has gotten us to midfield where the DBs give me a little space, and I'm taking off again, easy 18 yards. But they weren't expecting from the 31. I'm finding the right lane, and it's taking 3 or 4 players to finally get me down. A couple of plays later from the 2, I get another opportunity to put my head down and fight to get into the end zone, and it's not looking good for Georgia early. After halftime, the score is 10-13 our way from the 16. I thought I was about to score again on the right side of the field, but my legs are immediately taken from under me at the 4. But the 4-yard line might as well be the 1-yard line, how easy the team makes it look as we walk in, putting some room in between us and the Bulldogs. Fast forward to the bottom of the 4th. And we're just running the clock out at this point. But the line opens up a hole, and I'm using the last of my energy, getting us down to the 2-yard line. Coach is yelling to kneel it. But I'm not showing any mercy this season. Let me get that ball, cause I'm going right back in for the tutty and the icing on this game. The boys are too lit cause they know with me carrying this team, we could possibly win it all. 191 rushing yards with 56 in the air for 4 total touchdowns is how we win this Rose Bowl game. Now it's time for the national championship game against the number 2 team in the country, Oklahoma. And I'm not gonna lie, I had been battling a quiet injury this season, and somehow it had gotten back to the coach, who was not happy. He was going to let me play this game, but very lightly. And in hindsight, I appreciate that, because he knew this was my last year playing college football. But when I did make an impact, it was the second quarter. The ball is on the 2-yard line. Our back against the end zone. I'm running through guys to get us out of danger. Coach calls the toss next, and the blocks are looking like a dream as I come around the edge, pushing my body to the limits, getting us 24 yards on the play. I knew if coach was going to sit me soon, I needed to make sure this was my best drive, breaking a couple of tackles here for only 4. Very next play would be my final one in a college jersey as I weave in and out, not thinking about the pain, giving it everything I had for a crazy 64-yard touchdown as I put the crown on my head for the last time, showing no pain, all confidence, because this season and however many more my pops was alive for was for him. Back-to-back national champion, where nothing changed but the color of my jersey. I was solidified as one of the greatest to ever do it. I know my pops was watching and probably had the prison jumping, because this was a game to remember. And that was it. That was my journey as a college player. We are currently still fighting for my pop's life. We haven't given up hope. Just know, I'm declaring for the NFL draft this upcoming season. The marathon continues. know I really am, beating Iowa State by 20. Not only that, but I ran for 276 yards for 6 total touchdowns. That first game performance got me player of the week from the Big Ten, as well as nationally. And some NIL deals started to come through, like this one for a gym where all I had to do was take photos of me in the gym working out with a trainer, and that was money